right! Yes! 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 Another one, another episode, another week with you guys. Thank you for watching. It's another episode. This is going to be awesome. So, just getting right into, I do want to start off by saying that last week's episode, our Artist of the Week, our song of the Week, I had said that the band NCity was a 3-member group. It's not. It's just 2 guys. It's been a while since I had looked anything up on them, so I kind of forgotten that. And when you go to look them up online, there is virtually zero information. In fact, that song that I played for you guys, unbeknownst to me, I did not realize this, but I accidentally gave you guys an exclusive because that song is nowhere else on the internet. I tried to look. I was trying to find a link for you guys so I could put it in the description of that video. Could not find that song, so I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if they took it down or if I don't know, but thankfully I ended up getting that song. This was 5 years ago before that happened, so I still have the song. I was able to play for you guys. I hope you liked it, because as far as I can tell, that episode is going to be literally the only place on the internet to listen to that song. I wish I would have known that, because I would have built it up a hell of a lot more if I did. But yeah, so a little fun fact there. Also, in my introduction to you guys, I had completely forgotten and skipped over the current state of what I'm doing in music right now, which so from, I want to say 2016 to now, I had switched over from death step to doing just rap instrumentals, just making instrumentals for local artists, putting beats online, you know, stuff like that. So that is what I'm currently doing right now. That's why I have this, is for that. This is technically the recording booth for any local artist that want to come over and record all of that. So that's what I'm currently doing. I don't know how the fuck I forgot to mention that. Like, let me tell you guys about all the shit that I've done for all these fucking years and then completely forget to tell you about what I'm currently doing, because that's not important for whatever reason. That was really dumb. But now you know. Now you're all caught up. Alright, so one of the topics I want to discuss today is I do want to delve a little bit into what death step is, just because I referenced it last podcast. Whenever I was going through the introductions, I mentioned that is what I did before I do what I'm doing now. I was a death step producer. So I just wanted to delve into that just a little bit, just so you guys kind of get an overall summary of what I'm talking about. As much as I would love to do a whole podcast dedicated to talking about just death step, I am going to save that for later on down the road, because I'm not trying to scare you guys off just yet. All right, so we will get to that eventually, but for the next few episodes, I kind of just want to get my feet on the ground and get just a variety of different things talked about on here. So if I did a whole episode dedicated to just that, I would either lose the little amount of people watching that I already have, or I don't, you know, it's a bad idea. We're gonna get to it later. So anyways, so about death step, so it is considered to be I guess you could call it the death metal version of dubstep. It basically consists of loud, kind of white noise distortion sounds. That's being a little bit harsh on it, but just for the average listener that's never heard anything like that, doesn't even listen to EDM, just to give you a roundabout idea of what you would be listening to. Yeah, just really extreme heavy, some distorted sounds, stuff like that. And it really started with Bratkilla, the artist Bratkilla. He is considered the father of dubstep. He's the one that pretty much created the genre, at least built the foundation for it. So after he came out and broke that mold, then you started getting other artists that followed suit, right? So one of the very few artists that had their foot in the game and is arguably considered the best dubstep artist, if not definitely top 3 without a doubt, no one's going to debate this, is Moth, the dubstep artist Moth. He probably saw the most success from dubstep, true dubstep, besides Bratkilla. And Moth kind of took the reins from Bratkilla and became the example, became the foundation for other striving dubstep artists, you know, what this should sound like, what's going to be in it, you know, what's this style going to be. I feel like Moth pretty much took the blueprints for it and showed it to us. Bratkilla did it first, all right, and he's got some amazing songs. But Moth, I feel like, perfected it. So if you ever get curious enough to check out dubstep, just look up pretty much any Moth song, and you'll get a good idea of what you're looking at. After Moth was just a wave of new dubstep artists, and I ended up being part of that wave. But you know, it kind of blew up into its own community, and it was never anything that got popular by any means, guys. I think Moth it's between like 4,000 to 6,000 followers on SoundCloud, and I mean, as big as he is, as much as he's revered as pretty much the king of dubstep, you would think somebody like that would have at least 10,000 followers on SoundCloud, but dubstep is such a niche audience that 6,000, that's considered top of the top. That's as good as it's probably gonna get, at least for a dubstep artist that isn't already built into the foundation of the genre, that isn't a household name when you say dubstep, you know. 6,000, that's almost an unreachable amount for dubstep artists. But it created this little community of all of us, and it was fucking awesome. You had artists like, I mean, I want to try to name off the early days ones before and just kind of go in order, but of course I'm going off of memory here. Automatic is the first one that comes to mind. Jacob, really good friend of mine. I feel like he does perfect dubstep. But then you had artists like Wither. Wither had his foot in the door. Not many people talk about him in the dubstep community, but I feel like he also was very close to perfecting the genre if he didn't. And you got, oh man, there's just so many. I'm trying to think, I'll go old to new. So what really changed the game was when Code Pandorum started making dubstep. He started off as Static Reset. It was a duo group, him and a friend of his. He left that group after he figured out that he was really the only one doing any work. The other guy wasn't really doing much. Didn't seem very interested at all. So when Sven went from Static Reset and became his own artist to Code Pandorum, that is when the game changed, ladies and gentlemen. That is when the game changed. And I saw it early on. When he released his 2K Likes EP, it had some genre-changing songs on there, in my opinion. I saw that shit coming from a mile away. The second he split off and did his own thing, I knew for a fact this guy's gonna get big. I knew it. And it didn't take very long, maybe a year, before he became a household name in the dubstep, or in the deathstep genre. I don't even think it was a year. It didn't even take that long. But he rose to the top really quick, and then we'll fast forward to today where he was, oh man, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he signed to Firepower Records? Is that right? I should look that up. I'm such an idiot for guessing. But pretty sure he signed to Firepower Records, which is Dat6's record label, has the biggest dubstep artist on there. So he just blew the goddamn fuck up. I mean, he just blew the fuck up. And rightfully so. That dude, he is a producer's producer. The love and attention he puts into his songs, my God. I mean, it's no wonder he rose up so quickly. So that was really how it went from start to finish. And this is a super quick kind of Cliff Notes version of the history of dubstep. Just wanted to talk about it a little bit for you guys so you understood what it was, the genre that I was talking about that I used to do. That's all. Yeah, just basically very harsh, distorted sounds, very crunchy, brutal sounding, hard-hitting drums, snares that you've never heard before that sound badass. Yeah, that's pretty much dubstep in a nutshell. So now that we got that out of the way, I do want one of my topics for today to be discussing modern day pop love songs. Modern day fucking Katy Perry shit, right? I want to talk about that. Because when you compare it to songs that were in the same genre from, let's go 40 years ago. Shit, we could go 50, 60 years ago, okay? Every one of those songs from those decades is 10 times better than any of the fucking bullshit that's put out today that is considered one of those, top chart love songs, love pop songs, the fucking Katy Perry shit, or whoever the fuck. Can't remember any other names right now, but you get the point. Not going after her specifically. I just my dumb monkey brain can't remember all the other artists' names, so I'm just putting them under her umbrella. But what a lot of people don't realize is that the majority of these songs that are being written for these artists are coming from the same one guy. I shit you not. A lot of these artists that are in this genre, a lot of their songs are written by this one guy. And he doesn't even live in America. He doesn't know what the American day-to-day life is. He's sitting here making songs about it, though, and you motherfuckers are eating it up. You are encouraging the fuck out of this shit. My advice to you would be, first of all, turn off the fucking radio. You're not doing anyone any favors by doing that. So you've already given away your default support by having the radio on and having this shit play. Second of all, don't support these artists. Don't support these albums when they come out. Look, I know that sounds harsh. I know, okay? Don't support this artist. I'm not saying it really in that way. What I mean when I say that is, do not show support for unoriginality, okay? What you're doing is feeding the machine. You're showing these artists, this fucking asshole living in, I can't even remember where he lives, like fucking Norway, some fucking place in Europe. I don't fucking remember. Well, I'm not a news channel, okay, guys? Yeah, you're encouraging them to keep using this guy because it does so well. Well, stop fucking making it do so well so we can hear some original shit. I seriously doubt that Katy Perry has written the majority of her songs. Can we please hear something that you have to say? You're an artist. You put yourself in the spotlight. What you got to say, bitch? Oh, you're gonna let other people say it for... Oh, okay. So we don't get to hear Katy Perry. We get to hear some fat, ugly asshole that doesn't even live in America tell us what we want to hear, basically. They're force-feeding this shit. He writes it. She records it. She performs it. It gets put on the radio. You eat it up, and the cycle repeats. And it's going to keep repeating if you don't do anything about it. Now, this isn't a call to arms or anything. And obviously this is an impossible task. You can't get everybody to stop supporting someone or, you know, lash out again. I understand that. I'm just saying that we're at a point now where we've already hit the point of no return, where that's just how this is, unless there is an uprising against this mechanical bullshit. Okay? This same guy has written so many popular artist songs. Okay? Just to give you an example, so you're like, okay, you're not even telling us a song, you're not telling us who, but okay, he wrote Teenage Dream for Katy Perry. He doesn't live in America. He's way over middle-aged. The guy's not attractive enough to even know what girls want. I can fucking promise you that. And here we are. He's writing #1 Billboard selling songs. #1 Billboard charting songs. And he's not fucking American. He's not a teenage. What the fuck? It's just not right. It's just not right. It's like if you were a plumber, okay, and I just busted in the door one day and said, "Hey man, I got this. I saw a video on how to use a wrench and PVC pipe. So just go home, I got it." That, in my opinion, that's basically the same thing that we're witnessing with this guy. He's not writing about things he has personally experienced or he would know about. He's just good with words. And I don't like seeing you be tricked by that. Be listening to a song and you're enjoying this song, but you're enjoying a song that is 100% fake. Max Martin. I got his name, Max Martin. The dude's fucking Swedish. Okay? Let's look. I'm gonna look up here real quick. I'm just gonna type in Max Martin written songs. All right, so just right off the bat, first thing I'm seeing here: Britney Spears, Taylor Swift, Celine Dion, Jennifer Lopez. Let's see here. Adam Lambert, the singer for Maroon 5. This Swedish fuck has written for Adam Lambert. All right, here we go. Katy Perry. Ariana Grande. I don't know the song Ghostin'. If you've listened to that song, sorry, that's not Ariana Grande. That's some fat retard in Sweden that wrote that. So if you enjoy that song, sorry to tell you. Here's Taylor Swift again. Ariana Grande again. Bad Idea by I almost said Area Grande. Bad Blood by Taylor Swift. Gorgeous by Taylor Swift. Oh, he wrote an NSYNC song. Let's see. Ed Sheeran, he's written an Ed Sheeran song, Beautiful People. Backstreet Boys, he wrote a Backstreet Boys song. Let's see, there's another Katy Perry. Let's go through here. I'm seeing a lot of Katy Perry, a lot of Taylor Swift, a lot of Adam Lambert, and a lot of Ariana Grande. This man's busy tricking the fuck out of all of you. He's basically got a grasp, just a chokehold on the fucking music industry in this one genre. He's writing for the top fucking artists of our generation. Kesha, Dinosaur by Kesha. Maroon 5, Daylight by Maroon 5. He wrote that fucking thing. He wrote It's My Life by Bon Jovi. That was the Swedish fuck. He wrote that. It's the same guy. The same guy that wrote a Bon Jovi song from the fucking 80s is writing your current day pop love song shit. It's the same fucking guy. Do you really think he is experiencing the shit that he is writing about and that you are listening to? Fuck no. He's a fake motherfucker and he's ruining the music industry. My opinion. Sorry, my opinion. Don't mean to get too irate. Just, it pisses me off that this guy decides basically what you get to listen to. We are only getting to listen to what is in this motherfucker's head. That should infuriate you. I don't want to hear what's in this random retard's head. I don't care if he's written this #1 or that #1. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to know what's in his fucking head. Why are we being just engulfed in all of his fucking shit? Rise by Katy Perry. Roulette by Katy Perry. Part of Me by Katy Perry. One More Night by Maroon 5. The One by Backstreet Boys. The One That Got Away, Katy Perry. Fuck it, the list is endless. It's endless. This should concern all of you. And there's not really anybody talking about it because not that many people know that. Love Me by Katy Perry. Let There Be Love by Christina Aguilera. He even wrote a Glee song. That should tell you everything you need to know right there. Wrote a song for fucking Glee. That tells you where this guy's fucking head is at. Just what the fuck, man? I mean, I'm just scrolling here through, just mind blown that it goes back that fucking far. Wrote a song for The Weeknd. If you ever heard the song In Your Eyes by The Weeknd, not his song, didn't fucking write it. The song Supernatural by Kesha. She didn't fucking write it. This asshole did. Oh, let's see. Avril Lavigne. He wrote Smile for Avril Lavigne. I don't know why I'm sitting here wasting your time just naming off shit he's done. Here's the point. This guy's a fucking piece of shit just taking over the music industry in this genre, influencing you. You don't even know who he is, didn't even know he existed, and he controls what you listen to. That should worry you. It worries the fuck out of me. I care about what you listen to. I don't want me or any of you listening to what one guy thinks over the course of fucking 2, 3, 4 million fucking decades that he's been doing this shit. It's been the same guy the whole fucking time. What the hell, man? Okay, we're done with that. We're done. All right, so every week, what I want to start doing is having a different special little segment at some point in the podcast. It's going to be a different one every time. It's going to be like 5 or 6 different ones. I'm going to cycle them through. So today I'm going to be doing the segment Fact of the Day. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here is your Fact of the Day. The song Goodbye to Love from the Carpenters was the first song ever to have a guitar solo in a ballad. Okay, guys, so now we're at this point. We're going to hit the Song of the Week. Okay, Song of the Week. The artist is Opus Day. I know it's spelled weird. The song is Sinking Ship. Okay, this artist is based out of California. I have seen them live multiple times myself. This is about, 10 years ago? About 10 years ago. One of the greatest live bands I've ever seen in my life. Every member of that band looked like an elite band member. The guitarist had the coolest fucking guitar and was riffing the fuck out of it the whole time. The drummer had one of the best drum sets I've ever seen in my fucking life. The bassist was all over the place. He was going ape shit. The singer, that dude can hit fucking octaves and all that shit as high as fuck, and he is so talented. They never really made it big at all whatsoever, though. I will say, the only time that I have heard their music outside of seeing them live was I was at my parents' house one time, and they were watching an episode of, I think it was NCIS, if not it was Law and Order, and the song that they played for, I guess, the ending part of the episode, you know, something was happening or whatever, was an Opus Dei song. It started playing, caught me off guard. I was ecstatic. I could not believe that this band that I had seen live, that no one's ever seen or heard of, had gotten one of their songs on a TV show. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So outside of seeing them live, that's really the only time I've heard them. So I'm going to assume that nobody here has heard Opus Dei. So I wanted to play one of their songs for you guys. Now, as far as what genre they're in, it's kind of hard to explain because they were one of these special bands where they strictly have a very specific theme for their music. And that theme for them is post-apocalyptic, world-ending kind of lyrical content. This isn't super hard music or anything like that. I'm not playing death metal. If anything, it's just really heavy rock. But I've never seen or heard of a band to this day that does something like that. It's really cool. They have some great songs. They have some really great songs. I'm going to play for you one of their better ones. So here we go. Band's Opus Day. The song is Sinking Ship. Here we go. Let's listen. All right, that was Opus Day. I hope you guys like that song. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, I can't play the whole song for you guys. Forgot to mention this at the top of the show. I got hit with a copyright strike on the first video for playing entire songs. So, moving forward, I'm just going to be playing clips of Song of the Week and Artist of the Week for you guys. I'm really sorry, but I will try to link you guys to a full song in the comment section or in the description section, so you guys can go listen to the full song if you ever want to. If I'm ever showing you guys something, I encourage you to go check out the full song. I wish I could play the full song for you every time, but YouTube wants to be a fucking dick, so I can't. So now we got that out of the way, let's talk about the other topic of the week. Other topic of the week is, let's talk about gangsta rap, man. Let's talk about gangsta rap, okay? I'm not going to be able to delve into the whole history of the genre, go into every little finite detail. But let's just kind of get some stuff out on the table for those that aren't aware, for those that don't listen to the music, for those that don't know the story. If you do know the story, great, listen along. But I'm here for the people that just don't even listen to that stuff and don't know. So gangsta rap arguably started with T.I. out of Atlanta, okay? Early 2000s. He was considered the godfather of gangsta rap, okay? But and maybe this is just a personal opinion, or maybe the majority of people also feel this way. I feel like it's obvious. Again, just like with how Moth perfected Death Step and built a blueprint for it, but Bratkilla was the first, T.I. was the first, and he definitely had a hand in the blueprint. But if you ask me, and you ask anybody who's really knowledgeable in this stuff, the one that started it all was Gucci Mane. Now, I say that, I'm not even a fan of Gucci Mane, okay? I don't really listen to any of his music, but you cannot deny the fact that it is arguable that he is the one that started / perfected the genre. He built the blueprint for the genre, because after Gucci Mane, gangsta rap became a fucking genre. Shortly after that, Waka Flocka joined his label, which I think his mom worked for Gucci Mane, so it wasn't too hard to pull off. But after Waka Flocka entered the game, then it was really over. Then we have a defining subgenre with artists that clearly show what this genre is about, what the lyrical content is always going to be, what the mood, the atmosphere, the song is gonna be. You know, Gucci Mane, Waka Flocka. If you say gangster rap and you don't talk about either of those two, then you're completely missing a gigantic portion of this genre's history, because they are two of the most important people of that genre. Okay. Then later on, I'm just going to skip forward a little bit, and then we're going to go back to talking about it. Later on, so after Waka Flocka had been out for a while, he was on top of the gangster rap scene. In my opinion, he was the pinnacle, man. He was sitting on the throne. Then Chief Keef came out. I think his first hit was I Don't Like, and I think that came out in like 2012. Could have been 2013. After he did that, he had a slow rise up to the throne. And eventually, Waka Flocka stopped making music. Chief Keef took that throne over. So now with today's generation, Chief Keef is considered the heir of the throne. Chief Keef is considered the top of gangsta rap. Now, of course, these are my opinions. I know there's going to be people that disagree with me on that, but I'm actually looking at it from an objective standpoint, right? I just said I don't listen to Gucci Mane, but I can acknowledge that he really is the one that pretty much started the genre, or at least gave them the blueprint for what this genre is going to sound like for every artist, right? T.I. did a great job. Nah, I'm not knocking T.I. at all. The man did what he had to do, and he made his footprint in the game, and he'll never be forgotten. Of course, yes, he made gangsta rap, but it was not on the same level. It just wasn't on the same level. I don't want to say it was like the PG-13 version, but it was, I mean, he was the first to do it, you know? It's not going to be perfect. There's no art to perfect because it's not a fucking genre yet, right? So, Gucci Mane, Waka Flocka, they started it. Then you got, I mean, gangsta rap really is just a sea of underground artists. And if you find somebody who listens to gangsta rap, that's pretty much all they find. They could have a whole ass conversation with somebody else that listens to the same genre, and they'll talk about completely different artists that neither one of them have heard of, because the market is just flooded with underground gangster rap. I mean, you got fuck, man. You got Fredo Santana, who is Chief Keef, is actually Chief Keef's, I believe it was his older cousin. Yeah, Fredo Santana was his older cousin. Yeah, when he came out, that was fucking awesome, man. I loved anything that motherfucker was making, because it wasn't all polished and pretty sounding and producer heavy like most of the stuff that you listen to. Sometimes when he was rapping, he was accidentally off beat, or he would miss the drop when he wanted to start his verse, and sometimes the beat choices he had weren't like the greatest. They weren't mastered, right? The beats weren't mastered, they weren't mixed all that well. I don't know what it was, I don't know why, but I was really attracted to that. I guess it's because it feels more authentic, right? You feel like you're listening to something 100% authentic because it's not so polished and squeaky clean. I mean, even Waka Flocka, when you get into his later albums, they all sound heavily produced. They all sound like they were made in $1 million studio. Any Fredo Santana song, you're getting the complete opposite. Motherfucker, he must have had like a Blue Yeti mic or something, and just knew some local dudes around the way that made beats, at least when he started out. But I mean, it's really great stuff if you care to listen to that. But yeah, so you had underground, like Fredo Santana. Him, Chief Keef ran Chicago. The gangster rap scene, him and Chief Keef, they were Chicago, right? I mean, you just got so many fucking artists, man. I just can't even think to name them all. But what the part that people are missing when they want to criticize gangster rap, this is the part that I wanted to talk about, is that this music was started, this genre was started with these lyrical contents, with the way that it sounds, because it was almost, not really, I don't want to misconstrue it, it was almost like a cry for help from these artists that live in these conditions, that live in this world where this kind of shit is happening every day. You never hear about it on the news. You know, and I mean, this goes all the way back to, you know, when Ice-T made, you know, the song 6 a.m. or whatever it was. I mean, there's been street knowledge out there for decades before gangster rap, but gangster rap, like, really let you know what the fuck was going on. You got some really detailed play-by-plays of incidences and what this person would do if they found you and this and that. And that is because these artists were living in these conditions. These artists were living in this environment where they would wake up not knowing if a bullet was going to go flying through their window every morning. I mean, it's real shit. That was real shit. People don't think about that. People that don't listen to that genre or even listen to rap at all, they don't realize that they might look at it as toxic, as like, oh, you're encouraging the youth to act this way and to buy guns and shoot guns and get into gangs and this and that. And what you're missing is that even if that ended up happening, which I'm sure that has been the cause, there's no way to prove it, but even if that happened inadvertently, you're missing the point. The point is that most of these kids that are listening to this music that are easily encouraged to go out and do that stuff, they're already living in that circumstance. They're probably already doing it. Okay? I'm not talking about the rich white kids in the suburbs. I'm talking about people who actually live it day to day, right? People that drop out of school because they're scared to go to school. Because they know everybody's strapped. They all got a fucking gun on them. Or they're in just they live in a bad area where shootings happen all the time. These artists, they felt like, hey, somebody needs to tell the world what's going on here. Now, obviously, they're, pretty much bragging in all the songs about what they're doing, but it's still shedding light on the situation that a lot of these people are in. And this music, for them, is a way of coping with that, right? It helps these people. It helps these people in this situation. It might not help them get out of the situation, but it can help them deal with the situation. They get to listen to music that they can relate to, Kendrick Lamar made it straight out of fucking Compton. Good for that guy. Same with YG. I mean, same with Exhibit. Be Real from fucking Cypress Hill. All of them motherfuckers. I mean, not Compton specifically, but around that area. Bad neighborhoods, man. And they're considered the best of the best. Why is this? Why are they considered the best of the best with their lyrical content? Gee, I wonder why. Is it because they have personal experiences of doing this every single day? Yeah, probably. Probably. I can understand if someone with an outside perspective wants to criticize it. That's fair. Go ahead, criticize it. But you're not really understanding the full context of the situation, of the history of it. All right? You're not just listening to music. You're listening to a product of these people's environment. You're listening to a cause and effect of what happens when you have too many people that are poverty-stricken, living too close together, not enough jobs, not enough money. People have to eat. People have guns. People are starving. They have children. After a while, robbing someone so that you can feed your family becomes 100% justified in your head. I mean, because what else are you going to do? You can't get a job because you live in an area where there are no businesses around you because it's such a bad area, and the businesses that are there are barred the fuck up to kingdom come. Bars on the windows, on the doors, double bars. Good luck getting a job there. They're not going to fucking hire anybody in the area, okay? So how are you supposed to feed your kids? How are you supposed to live if you live in this area? Wouldn't that be frustrating? Wouldn't you want to speak out? Wouldn't you want to express your frustration? It makes sense why this genre exists. It should exist as a reaction to the situation that they are in. It's not always so simple as they make this music because they want to make this music. Okay, hey, sorry about that. The camera died, so I had to move it a little bit so I could get it charged. So anyways, I forget where I was at, so I'm just gonna go ahead and we're gonna end the podcast there. I pretty much said what I had to say. I did kind of a bad job of explaining things, which is shitty because that's the whole point of doing this fucking show, is to explain things very well in a coherent manner. I apologize I failed you this episode. I hope it was at least entertaining enough to watch the whole way through, though. If it wasn't, my bad. I'm getting better at this every episode, though, so please forgive me. Please keep watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and end with the Artist of the Week. Now, I wanted to go ahead and make the Artist of the Week Bratkilla, the guy we were talking about earlier, the founder of Death Step, basically. Just so you guys get an idea of what Death Step sounds like. The great part of me putting these songs at the very end is that if you don't even want to listen to it, you can just end the video right here and no love lost. I understand. If you're interested, if you're open-minded enough, if you want to check this out, I'm going to play for you the song that I talked about at last episode that had completely changed the course of my reality just from clicking the video and checking out this one song. I want to play that song for you. I don't expect it to have the same effect on you, but just so you can see what, you know, because before I had heard this, I didn't know you could make those sounds. I didn't know you could make music that sounded like that. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to play that for you. The artist is Bratkilla. The song is Resistance. The genre, well, it's Death Step. Go ahead, take a listen.
I'ma tell you something right now. We only make the meanest rap sound. If you don't like it, get out and don't come back, cause you get knocked out. Strapped for the sound, coming fast from a distance. Don't come too close, so you might win this coldest tune to the right. Persistence, understand, but the final resistance. Resistance, 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 resistance.
Okay, that was it. Now, obviously, I can't play the whole thing for you, like I said earlier. In addition to that, this song is 8 fucking minutes long, so I wasn't going to do that to you anyways. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If not, sorry, that's the show. All right, I am signing off for right now. Okay, I will be back next week, guys. You'll see me again, I can promise you. Don't know what the topics are going to be next week yet. I'll let you know. I'm going to try to get a guest in here as soon as possible, but it's really hard to work that, and you know, everyone's got conflicting schedules, so we'll see. But I'm going to try to get somebody in here for you guys so you don't have to keep listening to my dumbass talk every time. All right, so until next time, learn, listen, and enjoy. I'm out. I'm out.